I'm Olivia Handley, I'm the Enroll-HD platform manager, and I'll be speaking to you about Enroll-HD platform studies. So to begin with, to really understand the platform, I just want to recap on the aims. So first, to enhance the design and expedite the conduct of clinical trials. Second, to improve our understanding of the phenotypic spectrum of the disease and the disease mechanisms of HD in humans. And third, to foster good clinical care. So at the heart of the platform, we have the longitudinal observational registry study. And this study has really been pivotal in building the platform. So we have a number of activities that feed directly into it, whether it's developing a sophisticated database, training hundreds of HD researchers around the globe, submitting applications to conduct Enroll-HD in different regions and different research settings, and establishing a dynamic research governance infrastructure. At the same time, the study itself has generated a very high quality data set and accompanying biobank that can be used for research, whether that's for scientific interrogation, recruitment into clinical trials or observational studies, or providing a subset of data that can be used for another study. Each of these components has been built on a wealth of experience and expertise, and we're able to harness some of that experience and support and share it with other clinical studies and study teams and trials. So really building this platform has taken a significant amount of input, not least from HD families, study sites, CHDI and EHDN staff, and patient advocacy groups. So together these contributions have really enabled us to make the HD platform coming from Enroll-HD a success. So just very briefly on the Enroll-HD study itself, this is a family study, so individuals who are from HD families can participate whether or not they're showing symptoms, whether or not they know that they carry the gene, as well as the companions and caregivers of those HD family members. In a small number of sites, we also allow the recruitment of community controls. When we look at the status, and I wanted to make this point to really get across the size of Enroll-HD, it's represented in 4 global regions, so 21 countries and 157 recruiting sites. And we have recruited, since Enroll-HD began in 2012, over 26,000 participants. I really encourage you to pay a visit to Selena Kapodaka's poster on the Enroll-HD study status for more information on the metrics of Enroll-HD. One of the things that Enroll-HD really tries to do is to facilitate recruitment into clinical trials and observational studies. And we know that for clinical trials in particular, they are increasingly targeting late pre-manifest and early manifest participants, because this population has the maximum potential to show any effects of study treatment on progression. And this chart here along the x-axis shows you year-on-year recruitment of the different participant groups into Enroll-HD. And the 2 lines that I'd like you to look at are this pink line of pre-manifest and the light blue line of early manifest HD. And in 2017, when we realized this increasing demand of this particular population groups for recruitment into clinical trials, a coordinated message was sent out to the Enroll-HD study sites asking them to increase their number of recruitments into these particular categories. And you can see over time that this indeed has been happening, which is a truly excellent outcome. We should also just touch briefly on the data sets and biosamples that are really driving research. So Enroll-HD releases periodic data sets about every 2 years. And the last one, PDS5, was released at the end of 2020 and included over 21,000 participants and 55,000 study visits. Within that cohort that's released, some participants have up to 8 annual Enroll-HD visits, giving us a very unique and invaluable resource that can be made available to the research community. Accompanying the data is a very excellent biosamples repository, and we collect renewable and non-renewable samples. And again, for more information on these data biosamples and also other data and biosamples from studies supported by the platform, please see Meta Gilling's poster, and I'm sure you'll find it very informative about how you can access and to understand what's available. We also have an area on the Enroll-HD website that gives you information on any of the scientific publications that have come out of Enroll-HD, and we have about 70 publications to date. So we can really demonstrate here the impact of Enroll-HD in building our knowledge of Huntington's. Here's just some screen grabs of some articles. I'll just now move on to the platform studies that are supported by Enroll-HD. But really, when we're talking about support, there are a number of different things that the platform can make available, whether it is developing and providing feedback on how a protocol is being designed, looking at how the data are being collected and whether they may or may not be hosted in the same system as Enroll-HD. Looking at the data quality, how that's being monitored, if there are any monitoring resources that we could leverage from our platform, providing information on site intelligence, and also looking importantly at whether the cohort in Enroll-HD can inform the recruitment of potentially eligible participants into upcoming trials and studies. And when we look at the eligibility of participants, I just wanted to spend a little bit of time on this. This is one of the most used aspects of the platform. The Enroll-HD cohort allows us to have a real-time listing of participants that meet certain study inclusion criteria that can inform whether a study or a clinical trial is feasible, but also at the point of recruitment, those listings are very valuable for sites because it helps them speed up seeing who could be eligible and matching them to be enrolled into those studies. Inevitably, if we're able to match participants better, then we'll have fewer screen failure rates and possibly better participant retention as well. Turning our focus now to site intelligence, what we mean by this is really sharing what we understand of sites in terms of their HD experience, what facilities they have available, looking at some of our established databases, working with sponsors and study teams about what potential site selection strategy they might want to implement. So what we have through Enroll-HD now is a network of HD experienced sites, well-trained staff. They administer a standard set of assessments in HD, and that's largely promoted or at least supported by their involvement in Enroll. Similarly, the site staff structures, so having a site coordinator, PI, a sub or a co-PI, has been reinforced by their ongoing involvement in Enroll. And then that also feeds into the site intelligence message. It's our long-standing relationships with sites and the platform staff that really make us aware of what those sites' capabilities are, as well as having that access to their track record. Ultimately, this really helps with optimal identification and selection of sites that are capable for delivering on upcoming clinical trials and studies. Here is just a sort of display of the clinical studies that are presently supported by the platform, and you can see that a good number of them are funded by CHDI, but we also have a number on here where we're working with external partners. I'm just going to call out a couple of studies just to really illustrate how the platform is being used. HD Clarity, so Ed is going to be speaking about this next, so I won't go into any specific detail here, but really the focus is on how the platform's been helping. So this is a longitudinal CSF collection study, and it's recruiting participants who are involved in Enroll-HD. We've been able to provide information on sites, working with sites, trying to triage some of the issues that come up. We also support with on-site monitoring, so we do combined visits where a monitor will go for both the Clarity and Enroll visits, so more than 100 of those have been completed. It also, the study itself resides within the same electronic data capture system as Enroll-HD, so linking participants and seeing study visits is made easier for sites. And then we also support with the dataset and biosamples distribution. This next picture here just shows you a schematic of how the linking with other studies with Enroll-HD really helps, and Clarity provides us with an excellent example of this. A participant comes into Enroll, consents, and year on year their data and biosamples are collected. Somewhere down the line, this participant is eligible for HD Clarity, they're screened successfully, and their visit is linked to occur in and around the time of the Enroll-HD visit, where they are sampled and there's a subsequent phone visit. And what you can see here is that the data and samples that get collected at Enroll-HD then can link with the data and samples that are collected through HD Clarity. And this really is of enormous value in terms of reducing participant burden, removing the requirement for additional study assessments to be conducted, and so on. So we really think this is a very strong example of how the platform and linking with Enroll-HD can help other studies. I also just want to give a mention to the LSA study as another example. So this is where the later stage HD assessment study, we're recruiting 170 HD gene expansion carriers and their companions. And we want to run this study in 19 Enroll-HD sites, both in the US and the UK. And we're really hoping to have our first patient in towards the end of this year. The platform has supported with identifying potential participant listings. We are hosting some specific training materials on the clinical training portal. We've used site intelligence to inform our site selection. It will also reside on the EDC, the data capture system, and we are also helping with the data monitoring, so using the same Enroll team to do some of the study monitoring. So again, we're able to show how the Enroll-HD platform and its resources can be used to support yet a very different but very important study of HD. So as I draw to the close, it just leaves me to thank the HD participants and families, Enroll-HD sites, HD advocacy groups, the Enroll-HD governance committees, the Enroll-HD staff, EHDN and CHDI. It truly is a remarkable platform, and the success is largely owed to each of these individual groups making a significant contribution. So thank you.